Yes, YouTube, how are we? Back again. This video, this week I'm going to talk to you about what I am now changing post-marathon, because I'm very much a goal-orientated person and I always feel like I work better when I have something to work towards and I have a goal in mind. And yeah, so post-marathon, I've just been getting over the illness a little bit. I had a little bit of downtime, took a bit of time off from just things like tracking food, tracking workouts, etc. I just had 2 weeks where I just kind of did what I wanted and did what I felt. But I needed to bring some structure back in, needed to do something again, get my mind back in the game. And yeah, so me and my coach had a conversation about what we're going to plan for the rest of the year. And for me, I was like, very much at my age now, 34, it's a case of there's not really going to be many more years left when it comes to like testosterone levels and everything like that on building muscle. I can hear a cheeky little helicopter overboard. But yeah, like I'm not really gonna have many more years to try and build muscle from without using any kind of additional help, shall we say, which I know people like Jane Smith and that are actually talking about at the minute. Maybe they are using just to help. But yeah, so I'm going into what I'm calling like a lean gaining phase, where I'm not being silly like dirty bulking or anything like that, which I've done in the past very wrongly. I put body fat on and no muscle, but more so it's about trying to build some muscle whilst keeping body fat to a good percentage, especially over summer. Like, people are vain. Listen, we're all the same. You all want to look and feel your best around the summer months, in your summer clothes, top off, etc. So I'm looking to try and keep body fat at a good level whilst I also build some muscle, increase my food, increase my calories, have some more flexibility at weekends, and yeah, just generally enjoy having that side of the coin. I think that's really important too, because for a lot of people, all you focus on year in, year out is losing weight and keeping weight off. And you get stuck in a mindset where it's just about that and you don't think about anything else. So you're kind of always one step away from having to go back on a diet again. And I think that's really important, that your life doesn't have to revolve around being on a diet forever. And I think a lot of people struggle with getting out of that mindset and getting out of that thought process. So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to document it. I'm going to show you what I do over the rest of the year. Very much not going on a diet, very much staying away from a calorie deficit, very much focusing on, like I say, building muscle, recovering, getting fitter, getting stronger. I'm still going to be running. I want to be getting fitter in that respect too. Football season will be starting again, or training will be starting again in just over a month. So yeah, I'm going to take you along for the ride, show you what I get up to in the first week of my lean gaining phase. So in terms of the running, what I'm looking to do at the minute is kind of go for one long run a week, and then time dependent I'll have like a shorter run, which is more like tempo based, sort of splits, time differences, kilometre differences, etc. Just to try and mix things up. And one thing I noticed from my marathon was I don't do enough tempo runs, split runs to increase my maximum heart rate and stay at it for a longer period. So that's kind of one of the things I want to do, and it's also going to help me with pre-season, football pre-season coming too. So I've just done 2 times 5Ks with a kind of 3-minute rest in between, aiming to kind of get my heart rate up quickly, keep up there, and then at the rest station I was just getting my beats per minute down to around about 130 as quick as I could. And as soon as I got it down to 130, and then I set off for the second 5K. So I'll put the times on the screen. I don't know what I actually got, but yeah, it was hard. My splits were good, probably a little bit tired at the end, but yeah, it was good.
So on to nutrition. What's going to change for me? Well, not that much really. So contrary to what you might think, being in a calorie deficit or being in a lean gaining phase, the food still stays the same. Because for me, I think it's really important that you keep the same kind of structures in your diet. You need to have a principle, a constant driver, a constant structure with your food. Like, still want to keep the same kind of foods, the same kind of meals in there, especially if you're trying to look after yourself from a gut health perspective and just keep continuity in place. Because At the end of the day, this should be a lifestyle change for you as well. It's not just about doing a diet for a certain amount of time to lose weight to then go back to the old things you did before, because otherwise you're just going to put weight back on and you go back to old habits, old behaviours. So you still need to have them fundamentals in place. By the way, if you can hear a noisy child, you have to excuse me. We are on a day before half term and he's not very well, so not ideally timed. However, so yeah, I truly believe with nutrition, you need to have that structure in place regardless of what your goals are. If you're going in a fat loss phase, for instance, you need to put yourself in a calorie deficit. Well, that means that you need to eat less energy dense foods along the way, and you'll have to do things like eat more lean protein, reduce your carbs and fats, eat more fruits and vegetables to allow you to eat more voluminous foods to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So it allows you to optimize your feelings and your hunger and your cravings, etc. throughout a day to allow yourself to stick to that calorie deficit to keep losing weight. Flip side of that is that naturally, if you're going into a lean gaining phase, it gives you more scope. You need to increase your calories to maintenance or perhaps a little bit higher, which again, later down the line is probably something I'm going to do. But you still keep the same structure. So for instance here, eggs, all right? I eat omelettes 3, 4, 5 times a week. If I'm in a deficit, I'll probably have 1, maybe 2 full eggs. The rest, I'll have just egg whites because taking the yolk out reduces the fat intake, more protein, reduce calories. However, lean gaining phase, well, it means I can have 3 or 4 full eggs now because, well, I've got more calories to play with. And it's going to help me feel full. It's going to give me what I need for the phase that I'm in. And it's the same with carbohydrates. I think going into a lean gaining phase, you have to expect that you want to build your energy levels. You want to have more energy. Naturally, when you're in a deficit, you reduce your calories, you reduce your carbs, you lose your energy and you don't quite get as good workouts in, and you do get fatigued and tired a lot quicker. Lean gaining phase, it's all about going in the gym full of energy, full of beans, getting the best from your session and then recovering well after it so that your body can do the work alongside eating the right foods, getting the right nutrition in, high protein, good carbohydrates, healthy fats, etc. So the principles of your nutrition should still stay the same regardless of your goals. You just have to move the goalpost slightly and minimize or maximize certain foods to allow yourselves to achieve those goals at that specific time. By the way, I don't know if this is how you crack your eggs, but I always find this the best way. Just give them a little, one always breaks, the other one doesn't. Bosh, there you go. And if you are just wanting egg whites, here's a quick way of making sure that you don't get the yolk stuck in with the whites. Just a break in play, folks. Look at this boy writing. Keep going, buddy. What are you writing? Write your name then. Why don't you write Overton? Your surname? How good is that?
Cheese!
That's honestly amazing. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, Jesse is, although he's not been diagnosed with it, he is autistic, and yeah, naturally with that becomes a lot of difference is in his reading, writing and his motor skills, but he's coming on loads recently, started to get to grips with speaking and talking, answering questions, asking for things, etc. And his writing, like I say, he literally just wrote his name like that, which, yeah, buzzing for him, makes me really proud of him. And then we move on to training. So obviously with me doing like a lean gaining phase, what I'm looking to do is build some muscle. So how are you going to build muscle? Well, you're going to have to get back in the gym a little bit more, Lee. So I've got a 4-day week split of push, pull, full body. Trying to emphasize and sort of focus on upper body a little bit more. Shoulders, chest, arms is kind of the main areas. I say chest, my chest is okay looking wise, but strength wise it's quite weak, so prioritizing those kind of areas at the moment. Now for me, not 100% sure I'm going to get in 4 days a week, but I need to push myself in the gym. I need to be doing more in the gym. I need to get there more to get the work done, to allow myself to build muscle. Of course, like nutrition is going to be important, rest is going to be important, recovery is going to be important, but if I'm not getting in the gym enough times, I'm not going to put enough stimulus through my muscles and I'm not going to see the growth that I want. Now, one thing I have done is I've signed up to a new gym. So there is a a council gym like 2 minutes down the road from me, and I've still got my JD membership, but I was traveling 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. It's a 40-minute round trip just to go to the gym, whereas now it's a 4-minute round trip. So makes a massive difference. And although the gym is not as kitted out as I want, as long as I've got the right times, it's pretty quiet. Obviously I can do a little bit of filming in there as well, which is quite good for me to share on here. It's also good for me to watch back. I look at the form on this side lateral raise. Too heavy on the weight, need to go a little bit lighter. But yeah, so I have moved gyms and it's obviously really helping, and it means I can just go to 2 gyms now, which is obviously way more beneficial for me in terms of getting there more often. I'm getting my sessions done. So looking to do 4 sessions a week. Legs are involved too, just to try and keep things ticking over, but obviously I'm still trying to do my running as well, so I want to keep my fitness levels up. So again, I don't want to go too heavy on the legs, so then they are obviously tired and fatigued for the running side of things, and of course football training coming up soon, or pre-season coming up pretty soon. My legs are going to be pretty fried from that. So yeah, just looking to progress on my upper body work, get more sessions in, get more volume in, work on the weak areas or the areas I want to work on, and get to bloody work on it. I'm into sort of week 2 of my training program, enjoying it so far. Definitely noticed some strength drops, but that's what I'm here to do. Progression is key. First month or so, just building the foundations of getting in there more often, knowing what my strengths are, seeing where my weaknesses are, working out what my kind of baseline level of fitness and strength is, and then we build from there. So yeah, that's a little bit of a life update from me. Just finishing off a little bit of work, just getting back to a few clients, and just sent over one of my clients our ABC holiday protocol for the year, which is basically a run through of what you can do whilst you're on holiday, just to keep things ticking over. And I think it's something that I think is really important at this time of year. A lot of people going on holiday, social trips, weekends away, stuff like that. So having a structure and a plan, even though you're not going to be trying to lose weight, even though you're not going to be dieting, you still need to have some form of physical structure, behavior, and principles that you try and stick to. So that's what I'm talking to a lot of my guys about at the moment. Looking to do my next YouTube video about that, so a little bit more of an educational one, as opposed to talking about me all the time, and talking about what I can do maybe to help you over the summer months in terms of giving you some education around if your goal is fat loss and muscle gain and you're trying to lean down and look good, but also you've got a very busy summer coming up with various things going on. It's really important to know how to manage them and how to make sure that you kind of get yourself back on track, as the term is, when you are sort of back, or when you are back under control after you've been away, or if you've had a few social events and stuff going on at the weekend. So yeah, next video is going to be about that. Just about to finish off our 8-week lean program as well with the guys for just before summer. And yeah, we're busy, we're good. One-to-one guys are really steaming on. Like I said, that's the kind of focus for those guys at the minute, is to just make sure that they are fully equipped over the summer months. Probably the hardest months of the year, if I'm honest, when it comes to just keeping control of your health, nutrition, well-being, and knowing that it's not just about fat loss too. This is one of the things I'm really trying to drill home at the minute is, listen, if you want to have a bit more flexibility in that over the summer, that's more than doable. You don't have to always be dieting, fat loss. Just maintaining a good level of behaviors, actions, the principles that you're trying to put in place for your health and well-being, your nutrition and your training is just as important as working on your fat loss goals. And especially when you've got a lot of stuff going on over summer, it's really important you know how to focus and how to keep yourself under control, because I think that's where a lot of people slip, is when you get busy, when you get tired, when you lose energy, when you lose focus, it's dead easy to slide back into old habits and old behaviors. And that's obviously what we are working on at the moment, to make sure that over the summer months they keep them up, so that they're really in a good advantageous position for the rest of the year. So yeah, make sure guys, as always, you like and subscribe. We are starting to see some more subscribers, some more comments coming in. So if you haven't watched my marathon video from a couple of weeks ago, go and check it out. The hardest thing I've ever done, let me tell you. And don't forget, like I said, to leave it a like, drop us a comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.